Let me guess, you work over 40 hours a week, are in school, or just have a very busy schedule in general. And you have all of these goals for yourself, but you feel like your schedule's holding you back from reaching any of them. I used to be in that exact same situation just a few years ago. I was in school full time while working a part time job and on the swim team, and I felt like I had no time for my goals at all. I had these weight gain goals for myself and these strength gain goals, but I really felt like my schedule was completely holding me back. Now, this is exactly why I made this work blueprint to help you work around that busy schedule you have so you no longer feel like time is a problem and you can reach these goals that you have for yourself so much easier. Now, there's a lot of things that I used to struggle with that I know a lot of other people also struggle with. One thing is having no time for long workouts. You have a very busy day, you can't spend hours in the gym. That's no problem. You really should not be spending that much time training in general. Another thing is skipping meals or eating too little. I used to really struggle with this. I wouldn't be hungry in the mornings and I would just end up skipping breakfast and then eating a small lunch and then a dinner, which was completely under eating. Another huge thing is being burned out or under recovered. Your busy schedule is completely tiring you out, completely exhausting you, and you feel like you just don't have the energy to reach those goals and push towards those goals that you have for yourself. And finally, we have overcomplicating fitness with hacks. I used to do this. Everyone does it. Everyone sees those videos on Instagram, those videos on YouTube that say, try this, do this, and it will be way easier. The majority of them never actually really work. But once you skip this stage of overcomplicating fitness with these little hacks you see, it becomes so much more simple. Which this brings me into what the work blueprint actually is. So the W standing for workouts that fit your schedule, O standing for optimized nutrition with less time, R standing for recovery focused habits, and K standing for keep it stupid simple. Now I'm going to go over each individual step, each individual letter, so you can implement this into your own life, implement this into your own schedule, and see how easy it really is to no longer stress about time, no longer stress as your schedule being a factor holding you back from success, holding you back from that physique, that mindset that you have for yourself. So the W standing for workouts that fit your schedule. The first thing that I cannot stress enough is morning workouts. You should 100% be working out in the morning. No questions asked. It's a non-negotiable for me, and ever since I started doing it, the stress I have throughout the day with time and schedule has completely gone down. Having your workouts right in the morning, right after you wake up, just eliminates the excuse to skip the day. Like, let's say you're going to go to the gym after work every single day. That gives you the opportunity throughout the day to end up being too tired, end up being too exhausted, or having something else come up to lead to you just skipping the gym. If you work out right in the morning, you have all of that free time after work, after school, after whatever you have going on throughout the day. And you have zero excuses because it's right when you get up. It's the first thing you do. Now, the next thing is 3 days a week truly is not at all enough. You need to be training at least 4 or 5 days a week, every single week, using your 2 to 3 off days as rest and recovery days. They should not just be lazy days. You should be actively recovering on those 2 to 3 days off. And I promise you, if you start working out in the mornings, you will no longer only feel like you can go 3 days a week. The reason you may feel like that right now is because you're pushing it towards after work and after whatever you have going on throughout the day, whatever your busy schedule is, you're pushing those workouts to after, and that's why you feel like you can only go 3 days a week because you only have like the weekend or one day throughout the week. If you push your workouts to the morning every single morning and get up and do it first thing first every single day, you will 100% be able to go to the gym and actually train more than 3 days a week. You should be aiming for 4 to 5 days every single week. Now, while you are actually training, you should be training effectively. It should not take any more than 1 hour. You should be doing 2 to 3 exercises per muscle with 3 to 4 sets per exercise. Not anywhere in the world should that be taking more than an hour. 45 minutes of working out, 15 minutes of recovery with either sauna or treadmill every single day. And if you're really struggling with spending so much time in the gym, first thing you should do is cut out your phone. 90% of people spend so much time in the gym because they're just scrolling in between sets or doing something they should not be doing. When you're at the gym, focus and be at the gym to work out. That is what the whole point of being there is for. So put down the phone. I feel like chest, triceps, and shoulders just personally takes way too long for me and leaves me in the gym for way too long. So I push shoulders to leg day. So now I spend 45 minutes, hour max at the gym every single day of the week. I promise you, if you're questioning what split you should be doing, do push-pull legs. It is so simple, and it really does not get any more easy than this. And especially when you have a busy schedule, the last thing you should be doing is stressing over your split. So just do push-pull legs. It doesn't get much easier than that. Now, in the end, the most important part is consistency over these perfect programs. You probably see all these perfect programs online. Trust me, none of them actually work. There's no such thing as a perfect program. Every program is going to affect everyone differently. Everything affects everyone differently, especially when it comes to the gym, training, and dieting. It's going to affect everyone just a little bit different. So stop looking for these perfect programs. Find what is simple and what works for you and stay consistent with it. Now, the O in the work blueprint stands for optimized nutrition with less time. Now, the first thing that you have to understand is that chicken and rice 6 times a day is not ideal for gaining weight. Yes, maybe it will put you in a calorie surplus. Yes, maybe it will actually help you gain weight and you actually will be gaining weight off of that. But that is not at all the most easy way, not at all the most simple way. It can be much easier than that. You have to stick to calorie dense foods. Get rid of the chicken and rice. There are so many better options like oats, pasta, red meat, whole eggs, whole milk, nut butters, nuts, stuff like that. Stuff that actually have volume per bite, unlike chicken and rice, which you will have to eat, like I said, 6 meals a day to actually hit a surplus. I eat 3 decent meals a day with some snacks in between, and I hit a surplus so easily. It's all about having calorie dense foods that you are eating throughout the day. Now, the next thing is meal prep shortcuts. You should not be spending hours a week meal prepping. I spend 30 minutes max meal prepping. Now, just a few shortcuts to help you meal prep easier. I only meal prep 2 foods. I pick 2 foods every single week that I meal prep for that entire week, and that's all I meal prep. That's all I cook. I don't cook at all throughout the week, and it saves me so much time. Like this week, I'm doing sweet potatoes and beef. I usually do that a lot because that is my favorite meal. It's so simple and gets the meals done every single day, and honestly just tastes amazing. But every single time I have a rest day, that is my main meal prep day, because if you're not already going to the gym that day, you might as well use that rest and recovery day as a meal prep day for the week. So just pick a couple simple foods that you're going to meal prep for yourself every single week, and you should not have to cook at all throughout that week other than that meal prep day. And make sure your meal prep day is on an active recovery day. Now, a very easy way to optimize your nutrition is eating snacks in between your meals. Simple snacks like yogurt or trail mix. Those are 2 main ones I have in between meals. And at the end of the day, that adds up to 800 to 1,000 calories on top of your daily intake, which makes the biggest difference. So throw in some simple snacks like trail mix or yogurt in between meals. Now, a simple meal that you can make in under 10 minutes that I have been really on for the last 6 months consistently every single day is yogurt bowls. As you can see in this picture at the top left, I have been making this yogurt bowl every single day, and I truly have stayed so consistent with it. It is the best meal of the day. It tastes like a dessert, and I would actually have it for every single meal. I get these things between 800 and 1,000 calories, and it's all it's very calorie dense food. So even after this entire meal, I'm not even that full because it's so calorie dense. It has so much volume, and it's so simple to eat and just tastes like a dessert. This one you see up here has Oikos protein yogurt, and then I mix in a scoop of chocolate whey with that. I throw in some frozen blueberries. I throw in some walnuts, some almonds, maybe some cashews, and then I top it off with some dates and honey, and it tastes absolutely amazing. and it takes 5, maybe 10 minutes to make every single day. Now, the R stands for recovery-focused habits. Recovery is very important. After dieting and training, what comes next is recovery, which is where you actually grow. So make sure every single week you're getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep, because that will actually change your gains. Now, I know you've probably heard so many times people say, get 7 to 9 hours of sleep. It is very important for recovery. But the reason it is so important for recovery is because while you're getting those 7 to 9 hours of sleep, your body is actually repairing muscle tissue, replenishing muscle glycogen stores, and synthesizing new protein for your body. And during this period, your body is also releasing a growth hormone. And this growth hormone is an essential for muscle repair and development. So make sure you're getting your 7 to 9 hours of sleep every single night, because I promise you it will make the biggest change to your gains. Now, another thing is that bedtime routines improve your recovery. You have to have a bedtime routine just as much as you have your morning routine. One huge bedtime routine I have for myself is I don't go on my phone at all or put any blue light into my eyes for an hour before bed. It makes me sleep so much better and just makes me wake up feeling way more energized, way more focused, and just ready to win the day. So make sure you're having some sort of bedtime routine every single night that you will practice to make sure you're sleeping well every single night. Now, if you did not know, managing your stress can actually affect your muscle growth. Stress can affect muscle growth by increasing your cortisol, which promotes muscle protein breakdown. Now, I know you're probably stressed with maybe your busy schedule, work, or even school, but it is very important to manage your stress levels. Now, having bad stress management can actually lead further into bad diet choices and poor sleep. Now, a couple ways that you can help manage your stress is meditation, planning out your day, and implementing routines and habits that you practice every single day. Now, hydration and nutrition are very important, which is why they come first. Hydration actually affects your muscle repair, nutrient delivery, and waste removal throughout your body. And nutrition is just as equally important. After a workout, your muscles have been torn down and broken down, and nutrition and dieting is what will rebuild that muscle. So those are very, very important when it comes to recovery. Now, the last thing is supplements. Supplements really are the final 5%. You have to have everything else into play to actually worry about supplements. They truly are not that big of a deal, but a few simple supplements I would take just to start off is something like vitamin D, magnesium, whey protein powder, and creatine. You don't need anything complicated. You can stick to some of these simple things, but really in the end, you do not need supplements, but it can be that final 5% boost. But like I said, only once you have every other single thing in play. You have to make sure you're managing your stress, managing your sleep, your other recovery habits before worrying about any type of supplement. But that brings me to the last letter in the work blueprint, K, meaning keep it stupid simple. Focus on the big 3. Eat, lift, and recover. It is that simple. Go to the gym, you work out, you break down your muscle. And to rebuild that muscle, you eat protein, you diet correctly, have correct nutrition and hydration, and then you recover to rebuild that muscle. It is that simple. Just stick to that cycle. Eat, lift, and recover. That is the big 3. And if you can stay consistent with doing those well, you will see so much progress, and it will be so simple. Now, don't overcomplicate your workouts. Like I said, stick to a very simple split like push-pull legs. It just doesn't get that much easier than that. Stick to 2 to 3 exercises per muscle. Stick to 3 to 4 sets per exercise. You should not be in the gym any more than 45 minutes to an hour. Make sure you're doing 10 to 15 minutes of some sort of active recovery after your workouts like treadmill or sauna. And stick to a few solid meals. Pick out just a couple foods to meal prep every single week and eat that for the entire week. Stick to meals that you like and you feel like are actually working and getting you towards where you want to be and are so simple. So just stick to those few solid meals. In doing all of this, make sure to track your progress. Track your progress with simple habits that you will implement every single day. Like wake up in the morning, go to the gym, hydrate, eat a high protein meal after the gym, maybe even a meal prepped meal after the gym, and then recover. Stick to simple habits that you will track your progress through. And then above all, consistency over perfection. Don't try to make every single day perfect. Don't try to make every workout perfect. I promise you, I will tell you from experience, not every day is going to be perfect. You're never going to have a bunch of perfect days. Stick to consistency. Stick to making sure every day is completed. It doesn't need to be completed perfectly. Just stay consistent. Stay consistent with your habits. Stay consistent with your routine, your dieting, your recovery. And I promise you, you will see so much progress. Now, the work blueprint completely changed my life. It helped me build so much consistency with habits, consistency with routines, consistency with achieving my goals, and I practice them every single day. They're non-negotiables that I hold myself to constantly. And this work blueprint completely reduced my stress. I no longer stress with time, stress with schedule, even though I have a very busy schedule and so much that I'm getting done every single day. My stress levels are the lowest they've ever been. And most importantly, I gained real muscle. I went from 140 pounds, dead skinny, working part-time while going to school full-time and being on the swim team. But I put on 40 pounds of muscle while staying with this very busy schedule. And above all, it boosted my confidence. Not only did putting on that 40 pounds of muscle, having that reduced stress levels and reaching that mindset, reaching the goals that I had for myself, it boosted my confidence. And now I actually love the person that I am. I love the life I live every single day. And it also improved my discipline. I built these habits, I built these routines that I practice every day. And I work towards bettering myself and improving myself and achieving the goals that I have for myself every single day. And I stay disciplined while doing it all, which is something I used to really struggle with. But implementing this work blueprint helped me build that discipline that I really needed to achieve my goal. But it really simplified fitness for me overall. I used to overthink going to the gym, overthink dieting, overthink recovery. But once I actually took action towards this blueprint and implemented it into my own life and my own systems, routines, and habits and built off of it, I realized how simple it really was. And now I live every single day stress-free. And it's the easiest thing. It is so much easier than I used to make it out to be in my head. Now, if you want to build muscle while working full-time, while going to school full-time, while having that busy schedule, whatever it is, where you feel like time really is a problem, subscribe for more fitness tips because I drop information every single day on how you can work around that busy schedule. And you can follow me on Instagram and DM me any questions that you have, and I will answer anything at LucasLudwig13. And if you're looking for a personalized fitness and nutrition plan to help you reach those goals you have for yourself, you can book a free call with me that is linked in my bio. Thank you guys so much for watching.